have this issue, to be honest with you, this issue with this racial discrimination. And now I'm focusing on England and the West. If you go and ask those in the Home Office or those maybe in the courts or whatever, or in the media or whatever, and if you go and say to them, how do you handle the cases from Saudi Arabia and Gulf states? I assure you, this is what they will say. They will say, and I'm talking about the individuals, the asylum claimer, ask them, do you distinguish between a person who is calling himself a Shiite and a person like me calling himself a Muslim or a Sunni or a native Arab, or not calling himself a Muslim Sunni among the natives there? One second. If you look, they will definitely say in the West, England definitely, we are more considerate to those who call themselves Shiite because they are minority, and we know that the Saud House is considered Wahhabist and using this Wahhabist sector. And so a person like me, if he come here, the consideration drop absolutely down. Well, he's a Sunni. Well, he's from native Arab. Now, why we reach this level? Because of the liars, because of the dirty minorities, because of the fuckers, because of the occupation in the Middle East, because of the conflicts in Iraq, because how bitch and faggots these are working in places like the Home Office and like the courts. Fuckers. You are very considerate with the so-called Shiite. I'm not talking only about England. I'm talking about the West. Okay? I'm not talking about any other nation. I'm talking here about the West. So if there is a prostitute bitch from those who are not considered native, those who are not considered the Muslim, Sunnis, Shiite, Shafi'i, Maliki, Hijazi, whatever, these people who are intruders, if they come and complain, the consideration go to the maximum. But if it's someone like me come and explain, the consideration, considering the cases and issues of the Ismaili and native there, drop down. This is fact. This is not lie. Now, do I need to explain additionally? This explains how dirty, rotten people you are in the West. Yeah. I'm talking about those who have an option. Minority, fuck the minority because they are persecuting us. I don't need to give examples. I have explained a lot. They are persecuting the native Arab Ismaili. They are racist. They are demons. They are not good people. Starting with those who call themselves Shiite. And I'm wondering, look what's happening in Iraq by the Eastern Shore. Look what's happening in Iran. Look what's happening in our whole land. Look at the history in what's called Gulf states. Why won't you consider things? Why won't you see that the real victim are the Ismailians? Why won't you? Because you're a dirty motherfucker. Now, the result. I have mentioned in a previous video that Elizabeth, the Queen, Her Majesty, whatever, if she have any interference in this case of mine, additional to not considering the Ismailian, and she just want to send me back because the royalty are complaining. I'm talking about my detention for 40 days in 2018, my release, and me living like a rough sleeper for 3 years and a half. Don't bring any other case of a citizen or a resident. There is British people who are facing problem, definitely. If she's interfering, she needs to pay £1 billion for me. And if she did not interfere whatsoever, then I apologize for mentioning her name, whatever. Because we are civilized. This is a civilized nation. You shouldn't interfere in the political system, okay? Because those who call themselves Shiite always, when they complain about Bahrain and other countries, they say we don't want the monarch or this king of Bahrain to interfere. Though they are coming from Kashmir, Azerbaijan, Punjab, Africa, they just want to steal our Bahrain, steal our land, and bring all sorts of from where? From the West, from England as well, causing this trouble and screaming and criticizing the Saudi freak house. Gulf states for these agents for the wrong reasons. Okay, that this amount of money, no, definitely not from the filthy Gulf states. You are always stealing from there, from our money. You can go and talk to America, Canada, Your Majesty. You can go to talk to all of these Western countries. to give you some amount of money in your bank account, and you can put 200 million or something. No, I'm not joking, I'm serious. And 800 between America, USA, Canada, France, all these countries, always bothering us, the Shiite minority, whatever. And this is causing trouble to us, causing trouble. Can you please be smarter than me with more knowledge? Can you be smart with some knowledge? So, if Her Majesty have nothing to do with your case, Tariq, this is an additional thing. Just dealing with us this way deserve even much bigger amount from these government countries. I mean, if you have nothing to do with my case, why the Home Office is a fucking filthy racist department? Why the courts are a fucking freak department? Why you are listening to these so-called Shiite? Why you go and talk to them in America and Canada? Why you go to ex-Muslims who are originally not from the Ismailian, even if they are not Ismailian? Even if they are Ismaili, they need to consider the majority, if they are good people, to consider what's happening in the Ismailian territory, not to come and impose things that is going to bring additional damage and ban. But they are definitely in Canada, the ex-Muslim have nothing to do with the Ismailian land, have nothing to do with the Ismail. Why you are imposing these son of bitches and these son of daughters of devil on us? Why are you doing this to us? These demons, you can't see the souls of them because your souls is maybe far worse than their souls. Why are you doing this? It's the Ismailian territory, and we had enough from this racial discrimination against us, from the assaults that come mainly from the West and others taking advantage. Come on, yalla, billion, 10 billion. Why not? If Elizabeth have nothing to do with my case, again, and this is the conclusion. This is all of, if Her Majesty, bitch Elizabeth, Honorable bitch Elizabeth, fuck off, shut up. You brought this respect to myself, you have something to do with it, deal with it, you and others. And may you be cursed and destroyed. If Her Majesty is behind this, Tariq, I'm going to go and act. Yes, Her Majesty interfered. Yes, she did this mistake. No, it's not the West. No, Her Majesty did this. She said the king is calling the representation. Saudi Arabia, they are saying that he is a problem to them, he is a liar, of course. And we wanted to consider the Home Office. The courts wanted to consider this internal affair ministry system wanted to consider his case. But Her Majesty interfered. Fine, bitch Elizabeth. 1 billion pound. Give me this amount, and then I will make you the most adorable kafir woman on planet Earth. Listen to me. The most respectable, best. I will represent your name with absolute honor. She is an honorable. If she interfered, she's a bitch. And she's less than a human being. Unless if she gave me 1 billion pound. 1 billion pound, this is not your business. I use charity, I keep it for myself. This is my decision. I think I'm going to give half of it charity. But maybe no, this is not your business. You fuck off. Do you understand the point? طيب. Her Majesty Tariq got nothing to do with your filthy case, you filthy Arab. You fuck off. Like the cats when they're angry. You shit. No, I'm sorry, they don't use this. Maybe they use it. You filthy, rotten rat coming from Arabia and insulting the honor of this country, Her Majesty Elizabeth. You are nothing. Demon, she would never interfere in the Home Office. She would never put in, the Buckingham House, the House of Windsor, they don't interfere. We respect Saudi Arabia, we respect King Solomon, but we know our limit in line. Fine, then I'm sorry and I apologize, Your Majesty. Be patient with me, Your Majesty. I am very sorry. Forgive me, please. Though you are terrible in other aspects, I'm talking in the point. 3 years and a half of sleep, 40 days of detention, ticket, refusing my appeal, refusing me in the Home Office, doing all sorts of things that brought pain to me and made me feel that I'm a victim of great racial discrimination. I apologize. Now your throne, your government regime and other Western did a lot of problems, but when in this particular case, I am sorry. This is not the end of it. 10 billion pounds. What? 10 fucking billion pounds from the West. What? Yeah, America, Canada, these countries who have. Why? Because you have something to do with the change that took place, illegal change in the Middle East, that created a racial discrimination environment in your internal ministry systems, where someone like me coming and saying, native Arab Sunnis, oh, he's not Shiite. You don't want any modeling, prostitution. What the fuck you want? The Queen have nothing to do with it. Refuse them. Fuck your case. Just leave this woman alone. Leave the Shiite to it. We don't want Wahhabist. Wahhabist is Daesh. Qaeda problem. Bedouin Daesh. Fuck. Courts. I don't think I'm gonna accept his appeal because we are hardened faggots and bitches. Refuse him. This is your system. This is not only England. America, Canada, France, even Poland. 10 fucking billion pound. And then, you're not racist. It's time when the Catholics admit their racial discrimination against the black Negroes in Africa before. Giving 100 million. We enslaved you when your king starts selling their own people to us. We brought some in the Gulf States within the last 2 centuries. Okay, fine. In this 21st century, no such racism would take place this way. The Queen have nothing to do with them. It's the Western nations. Political system, governmental system. Shame on you all. The so-called Israeli state, it's an occupation. It's a fucking filthy Western occupation. What? I'm not going to talk about Russia, India, China. The so-called Shiite. Oh, no, this is another topic. At the end, fuck this minority and fuck you too. I want my either. Now you determine. It's 1 out of 2. 1 billion or 10 billion. But and still, the dark groups, crimes that was committed. Leave me alone. Committed must be criticized, like interfering in the Islamic world, causing trouble. But I'm just this particular thing, racism, by an official governmental department. Queen? No. So no billion pound, because I'm not, then 10 million, till billion pound for me. Pound, no, not American dollar. No, not American, not Canadian dollar, no, not franc or European, euro, no. This is February 2000 or January, the same prices of the currency of January 2022. The same prices of the currency. Maybe the economy problem in England dropped down. No, it doesn't work. What? In January 2022, the pound is equal. 1 billion or 10 billion? I'm not joking, I'm serious. Because this racism is a bad thing. Stop your racial discrimination. You don't pay money to reimburse people. You don't want to reimburse people, then punishment. Fuck you, I curse you. You are all my enemies worldwide. I'm serious. I'm not joking.